I get this question every single week. Jason, should I move to Fort Collins or Loveland? Look, I live and work here, and I can tell you, picking the wrong one is a mistake that will cost you an extra 30 minutes in traffic every single day. Before you sign a contract, you need to see this comparison. They are less than 15 miles apart. In one corner, you have the energetic university, old town vibe of Fort Collins. In the other, the artistic, getaway to the Rockies, more laid-back community of Loveland. Today, we're diving into the actual feel of living in both these cities. We're comparing the vibes, the housing costs, the amenities, and the commutes. I'm going to help you decide which one of these unique NoCo communities is the one you will call home. Let's get into the details. Before we get into the breakdown, we have to look at how these two connect. Fort Collins is directly north of Loveland, separated by a few miles of open land along the I-25 corridor. Fort Collins, known locally as FOCO, is the bigger of the two, with a population pushing 170,000 people. It is famously home to Colorado State University, which heavily influences the energy. Loveland is smaller, with about 80,000 people. It's often called the Sweetheart City because of its unique Valentine remailing program and has a reputation as a major hub for art and sculpture. Let's talk about the vibe, because this is where the biggest difference is. The vibe in Fort Collins is dynamic energy. You can feel the 30,000 college students. It makes the city feel youthful and bustling. Old Town is a legitimate, walkable, vibrant destination with a heavy patio and brewery culture. Fort Collins has that large town feel, but the engine is always running. The vibe of Loveland is laid-back community. It's less look at me and more come as you are. While Fort Collins is driven by the university, Loveland is driven by its identity as an art city. You'll find world-class sculpture parks and more local art festivals. It's significantly quieter and feels like a true community hub. The key difference: Fort Collins feels like a destination. Loveland feels like the base camp where people actually live. So, what do you do on a Saturday? Fort Collins wins if you love a dense concentration of specific hobbies. It is Bike Town, USA, with vast network of dedicated off-road paved trails. The craft brewery scene here is legendary. It also has easy access to the Poudre River and Horsetooth Reservoir. Loveland answers with a different kind of outdoor access. Its main attraction is water. Both Carter Lake and Boyd Lake State Park are right there, offering better boating and water skiing than FOCO's Horsetooth. While Fort Collins has the scenic access, Loveland is a true getaway to the Rockies. You can deep into mountains 15 minutes faster from Loveland. Okay, let's get to the question you really care about. How much does it cost to live there? The short answer: Fort Collins is consistently more expensive. Let's look at a $600,000 home battle. In Fort Collins, $600,000 might get you a solid 3-bed, 2-bath ranch or split-level home built in the 1980s, sitting on a quarter-acre in a mature neighborhood. You're paying for proximity to CSU and Old Town. In Loveland, for that same $600,000, you are almost always getting more house, more space, and possibly newer construction. You are likely looking at a bigger, more recently built home, potentially a larger lot, or even acreage. The takeaway? You can get a comparable quality of life for your money in Loveland, but you give up some of the hyper-walkable downtown amenities of Fort Collins. If you're commuting south to Denver or Boulder, this is a big win for Loveland. Loveland is about 15 minutes closer to the main I-25 hubs. When you're looking at a 1-hour plus commute each way, that 15 minutes makes it a huge difference on your sanity. Fort Collins commuters have to navigate a stretch of I-25 that gets notoriously bottlenecked between Harmony and Windsor before you even hit Loveland. However, if you work in Fort Collins, living there is a dream. Because FOCO is a very self-contained economy, you may barely ever use the highway. So there's no right or wrong answer, but I can tell you who wins each city. You choose Fort Collins if you want that energetic, vibrant atmosphere. You love walkability and patios, and you either work in town or don't mind a longer Denver commute for a higher cost of living. Now, why would you choose Loveland? If you want a quieter, artistic community vibe, you want your housing dollar to go further, and you prioritize easier lake and mountain access. The best news is you don't have to pick a bad town. These two cities are close enough that you will enjoy the perks of both, no matter where you live. So I hope that this comparison helps you decide which community fits you best. I'd like to know from you in the comments, Team FOCO or Team Loveland? Tell me where you're leaning. If you want to see exactly what $600,000 buys you in Northern Colorado right now, I have a bunch of links to current listings in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.